Good afternoon everyone, we are from the University of West of Scotland. My name is Donna Rusell. We are all social sciences students and we've been doing some research as student as partners along with our lecturers into employability. We have identified that there is no clearly articulated direct career path for social sciences students, and we think this is due to the fact that it's a non-vocational subject. So we wanted to carry out some research that would capture the student voice. So this is some quotes that comes from professionals, and they were just saying that basically graduates were unprepared, they were uninformed, lacking self-awareness. And the next one from Peter Hawkins, it's to be employed, is it to be at risk, or to be employable is to be secure. It's noticed that there's a difference between employment and employability. Our institution measures employment levels based on the daily surveys, but as I've just said, obviously that is different from being employable. So we think that students should leave university with a variety of skills, transferable skills they can take into the workplace, not just a degree. So this is critical for social science students, as many start out not knowing which career path they'll take, so they need to be versatile. Also, they need to have a critical understanding of employability itself. So this is some of the targets for UWS. By the end of the 2014-2015 year, UWS will achieve a graduate level employment rate of 65%, and by the end of 2014 to 2015, UWS will achieve a minimum graduate level employment rate of 75% of our graduates within 3 years of graduation. This is just some more quotes. It's clearly not the same as graduate employment rates. Like, employability is totally different and it needs to be treated differently. Nor is it something that can be quantified by any single measure. Destinations of Leavers from Higher Education survey is a measure of employment, not employability. Employability is about learning, and the emphasis is less on employ and more on ability. In essence, the emphasis is on developing critical reflective abilities with a view to empowering and enhancing the learner. So the question we had was, how can we make students more employable? So what we did was, in our research, we carried out, we handed out questionnaires to around 180 first-year social science students, and we carried out focus groups. And Paul will tell you about the results we got.
Sure. Okay, so as Donna said, it was basically 180 questionnaires. It was across the campuses in Hamilton and Paisley. And one of the things we compared it with was what employers actually look for from graduates, the social science graduates. So the first thing, or the key thing, was employability skills. So as Donna said, this is where we've identified it's not about employment, it's about employability skills that people need to get. It's gone are the days where you go, I've got a degree, you go and look for a job. We're trying to make all students aware of the skills they're actually utilising and adapting throughout the academic year. So trying to embed it in the curriculum, and so that they're fully trained to go out to a variety of jobs. So what we did was we compared it, so that's what employers were looking for. And the questionnaires that we handed out, one of the questions was, just as it is there, what the students think the employers are looking for. Now, to be fair, there is a bit of a disparity here between the two campuses. Our campus, which is the Hamilton one, identified employability skills as key, whereas Paisley, it was the degree subject seemed to be what they regarded as key. That's what employers were looking for. This is something that's still worthy, and we're still doing further research on this to try and identify why there's a difference. But clearly there's a difference here. But it was interesting to note that a number of the students did, or they were aware that employability skills were fundamental to it. One of the main things as well was, though, as Donna has already alluded to, there was no identified or predefined career path for a number, almost half of the social science students. And that's one of the things we're trying to change, is the fact that when they come in to do a social science degree, they're not aware at all of what they can get. So we're asked, one of the other questions on there was, what jobs do you think you can get with your degree? Now, this does look, the Wordle does look as if there's a lot of various jobs that have come up, but if on closer inspection, a lot of them are just variations of the same thing. So a lot of students identified being a teacher, but it's variations. It's like a high school teacher or a primary teacher, whatever. So it seemed to be maybe 5 or 6 key jobs were what they thought was all we would be able to do with this type of degree. So again, it's to try and identify how we could improve employability and make students aware of the skills they're developing, not just the academic side of things. Now, what's actually happened, these are quotes from students from the focus groups. Now, there's been people in the first one that said they might change their mind later in the course. They know people who have a social science degree and went into different kinds of jobs. We found this with people who've come in and maybe wanted to be a primary teacher, for example, which is quite a common one. And then from the focus groups, they've been halfway through, done some of the modules, and then they've realised that they're developing skills which has opened up a whole world of potential careers that you can do. Now, personally, this is why we're here as a group. There's 6 students involved. We're partners in learning with 2 of the lecturers, and we are students as producers as well. So we've done the research. We're working with real data. We're getting to do things like this presentation. We're developing digital literacy skills. We've got Donna, for example, is a second year student. John and I are in third year. We've got second year students who are helping third year students as peer ambassadors and peer champions for a programme called Xerti, which helps with digital presentations. And it's broken down the barriers between the 2 year groups, if you like, and it's been working really well. There's not been any sort of queries from third year students, why is there a second year student here? And everyone's actually now becoming aware that rather than just learn a specific topic or having to write an essay, they've got skills they can utilise, skills they can go out into the workplace, rather than be a sole type of job just for this, just for that. People are now, or students rather, are now aware of what they can do. And the last quote is probably the most pertinent one. The same, but there's a reason why so many social science students or graduates have graduate jobs, because there are so many different things you can do. Now, these are quotes from first year students. This module's only started this year. Well, for first year students there, to say for first. If we'd had this in first year to get to this stage, I think the skills we'd have developed now already would have been unbelievable. The fact that we've got to do this in such a short space of time, I mean, it's a great, really lucky to do it, but they're trying to get this all the way through now. So as I said, it's just to get students aware of the skills they can have. Now this was, with this, there's 84.2% of social science graduates are in in paid employment, of which 76.6% are in full-time employment. There's a number, as I alluded to as well, of various occupations that they can do. So I think students originally would have thought that they come out, it was going to be predominantly teaching or predominantly social work. But on this, I mean, you've got professional occupations, managers, administrative, sales, customer service, elementary occupations. There's a plethora of jobs, if you like, that are out there. And what they're trying to do as well, this is going to be a continuing thing. The research is ongoing. We're looking to bring in from first year, get them involved with second year with other students and continue this throughout the academic ones. And again, it's the key emphasis is not on the employment, it is more about the ability. So John's just going to show you what we're actually currently doing now to make students aware of what they're developing within the academic side of things.
Yep, thanks. Okay, so this is the university website, and what the lecture's actually done is the employability skills have been mapped to the module descriptor. So we have actual graduate attributes which are available to all the students from the day they start. So if you actually look down, going across the way, these are the subject matters, and down the way is the graduate attributes. Now, it means it's crystal clear from day one to know that what other skills they're going to achieve other than the academic knowledge. Now, that is layered, so it's for every year, and it's all available. Similarly with the competencies and skills which are developed. So again, it's not just academically, but you can say assessment 1 in becoming a social science, we have short essays, we have group wiki posters, and we have reflective portfolio exercises. So a short essay, so that's you, is to make you available, make you understand that when you go into the job, someone asks you to do a short report, you can do it, you've got the skill to do the report. Someone asks you to do a group wiki or a poster, it means that if you're working in manufacturing, you might go in, you might need to work with accounts, work with operations, work with various departments. So this is to take away from people that are looking at perhaps maybe physics or maths, that they've got one skill that they can actually take out and interact with different departments. So what we want to do is, in the future, is that actually the students themselves help create this, and they give the key competencies what they think they have learned, and perhaps negotiate some skills with the lecturers to say, this is what we want to learn, what extra skills we want to learn from that module. Right, so today, what we've had and what we've found is by the time we've got to third year that we can actually negotiate with lecturers what's in a marking rubric, what essay topics we can do, do we work individually or do we work as a group. So what they want to do is enhance this in the future. So basically summing up, the bottom line is what we want to say and what we are finding out is enhance on is that the University of the West of Scotland, especially the School of Social Sciences, wants to create a focus for students to be able to create their own university experience that enhances and promotes their employability.
First of all, thank you very much for your presentation. One of the questions that I had was what sort of skills do you think that particularly